Today in the United States, the patent protection process as it relates to the drug industry remains a main area of contention in providing affordable health care to the American people. Although Big Pharma is under increasing scrutiny from insurance companies, consumer groups, and American lawmakers, drug prices in the United States continue to skyrocket. This has resulted in prescription drug price increases of nearly 10% or more, having hit American consumers for 3 years in a row. So, are drug patents to blame?
Brief history of intellectual property rights. Patents were not originally intended to benefit solely property holders. Courts sought to balance private rights and public goals, and the length of patents has always acted as a point of contention.
In the aftermath of World War I, the United States did not want to rely on the enemy products of Berlin's pharmaceutical industry. The American drug industry was able to break away from the German corporations while also discovering the value of patents as a means of controlling the pharmaceutical industry.
For developed countries, weakening patents harms international investors' confidence that intellectual property will be protected.
Some proponents of drug patents point to history to demonstrate that even with weaker patents, it is unlikely drug prices will come down. Also, it is simply unfair for generic companies to replicate the expensive research conducted by an inventor.
Lastly, there is no regulation preventing older versions of drugs to be marketed by generic companies. Evergreening is making slight modifications to drugs to renew patents. An example of a case in which it is prevented is the 2013 Indian Supreme Court decision that denied Novartis a patent on a cancer drug.
Two existing pieces of legislation pushed by Big Pharma that have raised drug prices for Americans are the prohibition on importing drugs from other countries, as well as the federal government's restriction from negotiating prices on behalf of U.S. citizens.
Arguments in favor of erasing patent monopoly point to the idea that the privilege of patents is being abused.
The original intention of patent protection was never for use in a situation where a human life was in danger through its use. Also, it has become increasingly clear that patent protection primarily serves the interests of drug companies at the expense of the people in need of their products.
If governments want to help people and provide more affordable healthcare, more rapid processes for approval of biosimilars and generics are crucial.
American pharmaceutical patents could become a vulnerability if Canada took action to suspend American patents on Canadian soil. Canadian companies would then be able to produce these drugs while decreasing American profit.
Now, there are two questions we would like to leave you with today. Firstly, should governments minimize Big Pharma power by removing pharmaceutical patents? And in whose best interest is the use of patent protection in the drug market?